Welcome back to another episode of Health is Wealth. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in, every single one of you. I am beyond grateful for those who are tuning in and your support. And as always, I do hope you are finding value in these podcast episodes as I'm just sharing my words and thoughts and things that I'm learning on my own journey in hopes that, you are able to take some value from them within your own life. Maybe look at something differently, learn something new for the first time, or just using it as inspiration and motivation as we are all on this journey to go after the greater, best version of ourselves. On this week's episode, the topic I wanted to talk about is one of the things that I truly believe that people who are successful have that make them so successful, And when we think about people who are successful, we think about this journey of them, striving to be who they are, right? Obviously had to have a vision, had to work hard at things, had to break through barriers and overcome obstacles to be very successful. But I don't believe any of that would have been possible without this very one thing. And this very one thing, I believe it is where it all started. And I believe without having this in our own journey in life, then there's no way we're going to be successful. And it is this self-worth, right? I think that's where it all starts. And I think that is the one thing that they might, possess more than anything else, right? As far as even skill sets they learn to progress them to be successful is that very thing, self-worth, because without believing, right, that you are worth more, you'll never achieve more. Therefore, you will never outlive or exceed the level of self-worth you have for yourself, And so I think it all starts there. For someone to be successful, for someone to go after more and bigger things in life, you can't do it without believing you're worth it enough, And so I think about that in my own journey, that I'm going after the things that I want in life, the big goals, the big dreams, the big life, these ambitions, because I believe I'm worth it. I believe God gave me a gift, a vision, a path, a road to do bigger and better things. And so for me, believing that I'm worth it is why I believe that I am worth more. Now that extends to my family and loved ones, and I believe they're all worth it too, which is why I'm going after these things. But more so than anything, right? Those who are successful, the most common thing about any one of them is that they believe that they are worth it. So if you want to be successful in life, if you want to start going after things in life, you have to believe that you are worth it, because you're never going to acquire more things in your life than what you feel you are worth. Now, I know that's tough because, at times we might not feel that we are worth it, right? And there's many reasons on why that is. Sometimes it's because that's just what we've been told, from when we were little, that we're worth nothing, that we're not anything special, that we're never going to do anything big in life, whether, it be a close one, a family member, a spouse, a so-called friend, who knows, right? Just people in society, and then we start believing that. A lot of times it's because, maybe we've made the mistakes and gone down the paths, we shouldn't have, and, haven't really done a lot of big things in life. And therefore, again, we believe that we are not worth it. But the thing about that, though, too, to understand is that it's up to nobody else but yourself to measure what your own self-worth is, regardless of what people tell you, regardless of how many times to tell you, regardless of how close that person might be to you. It's not up to anybody else but you to decide your own worth. The great thing with knowing that is that at any time you can change that. This very second, you can decide you're worth more. You can decide you do deserve a better life. You can decide anything that you want to decide when it comes to your level of self-worth. And the more you start to believe that you are worth more, the more you open up your mind into believing you deserve more, and the bigger the vision you can create for the more that you can achieve and acquire, right? So it's important to know that it's up to nobody else but you. I've been there. I get it. I've had the point of not feeling that self-worth. I've had that point where I've allowed, people who were in the family or people who were close or society or heck, even by my own doings, of mistakes and decisions and past that I've made that weren't the best or whatever, pretty much convinced me that, yeah, I guess they are right. I guess I am right. I guess I ain't worth nothing, right? But just know that when you feel no self-worth, you're not going to achieve very much in life. You will never exceed that point of your self-worth. So in order for us to be successful, we have to start believing in ourselves and that we are worth more. It is always going to be up to you, no matter how many times you've heard it in your past, no matter how many times people have told you. I don't care who or what it is, right? God gave you the gift and talent and the uniqueness of being one of a kind, right? And that says you are worth something. So you just need to dig in deep in your heart and mind and start believing it, Start reinforcing that idea. A lot of times when we have that no self-worth mentality, it's followed up by the narrative and conversations, the negative talk in our mind that then reinsures and again, reinforces that idea. Yeah, they are right. I do suck. Yeah, they are right. I ain't worth it. Yeah, they are right. I'm nothing special, right? But knowing that can all be reversed. That's not permanent. Nobody else decides what you are worth but you and God. God put you here because you are worth something. Not because you were an accident, not because you were a mistake, not because you were a boo-boo or an oopsies. No, you were here for a reason. So believe you are worth more. And again, that's what I believe. People who are very successful or successful at any level is the one thing they could probably attribute to all their success more than anything else, right? Because without having self-worth, they couldn't have had the bigger visions. They wouldn't have set big goals. They wouldn't have gone after bigger things in life if they didn't feel that they were worth it. If you feel like you should be worth $1 million, boom, guess what? You're an instant millionaire, my friend. That's how I feel about myself, And it takes time because it takes time, to develop that not self-worth because of people in society and your own self-talk. But again, no, it's reversible. You can go in the other direction. You can start having better self-talks with yourself. No, they're wrong. I know I'm special. They didn't put me here. God put me here. I am unique. I've survived all the days that I've survived. This has to be worth something. I'm worth having a better life. I deserve to be happy. I'm worth more than my situation and circumstance and what people have led me to believe, even myself. Once you can start having those kind of self-talks, and you start believing you're worth more, your mind is going to open up to bigger and better things in life. And you're going to start seeing things that you're worth more to deserve in life. And that, my friend, is where it all starts. And that is the one thing that I believe all successful people have that makes them so successful. It all started with self-worth because no one who's achieved big and great things in this life and have great accolades and places they've been and things they've done would have done that if they didn't have any self-worth. It's a day-to-day to start building that. Again, start reinforcing positive affirmations and self-talks and beliefs and doing things, physically to show that you're worth it, Do things that are challenging and hard and difficult, Achieve some great things, Achieve some difficult things. And the more times you can start stacking all these things and the more times you could see it for yourself in the mirror that you are worth more, then guess what? You are going to be worth more. And I hope you sit with that and really think, gosh, that's right. It's up to nobody else but me to decide that. So again, it's one of those things that I believe that people who are very successful have. And we all have the ability to possess that, you know? But it starts with you believing in it. And it starts with you just knowing that it's not to anybody else but you to decide what your own self-worth is. And that's why for me, I'm going after the biggest and better things and greatest versions of myself in life because I know I am worth it. You know, I no longer believe that I'm not worth it. I was there. I've been there at a point in my life, but I now know I believe everything and more that I am going after. And that's why I'm going to achieve those things. And I hope you will too. So start believing in yourself, start believing your own self-worth, and you are on your way to bigger and better success in life. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode, and I will see you on the next.